because our oldest is on her 2 week spring break. So it's been holidays here, and we've just been putzing around the farm. Today I was preparing some beds so that we can seed some carrots and some beets. And Serena has been potting up a storm. That order that we went to Vancouver to go grab. Serena has been putting it all in pots so it can survive.
No. I like that Ian's saying that we've been putzing around the farm, like making it sound like we're no. We talked about this. You go play your game. Yeah, Ian making it sound like we're not doing anything when we've been working our butts off this week, though only because because we're so busy.
Yeah,
the amount of busy that we are is going to be putzing in relation to how busy we're going to be next.
I would say that emotionally I'm putzing because I'm tired all the time. So that's where the putzing comes in, because I'm like, oh, I have to get out of bed, in the morning. It's a little easier to get out of bed when you have to, because your kids have to make it to the school bus. That's like a no excuse, kick your butt out of bed in the morning. But when you don't really have that time sensitive need to get out, then sometimes I fall back to sleep.
But I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with having a sleep in.
But it's pretty exciting to see the farm starting to take shape now. You should
scooch your body. We're kind of like
it's super focusing.
Oh, I didn't do the thing, guys. My trick. Okay, there. This is my trick. That makes it focus a little bit better.
Yeah.
It doesn't bounce quite as hard.
I can't stick around on the video too long today because tomorrow is the start of another school week for our son. So I do have to do lunches and shower because he's been rolling around in dirt all weekend.
Yeah, the kids have definitely been enjoying the beginning of compost pile season.
Yeah. Compost pile is like ultimate kids babysitter. It's just like, they probably play on it for about an hour a day. And I remember playing on like piles of snow as a kid, and it was so fun. So
I'll play on the compost pile with them.
Yeah, every now and then I'll just run up it for no reason too. And actually, I set up the camera on it probably 3 or 4 times today because I was doing some footage of me moving compost, filling the beds with dirt. So we realized.
Okay, in this video, I'm gonna talk about seeds.
Yeah.
But
so are you giving me the eviction notice?
Well, no. Is there anything just so everyone knows?
Oh, how about
so they don't think that they've stumbled into me forgetting. I got my seeds here.
They're just off to the side.
But Ian has a moment, so he was gonna. Oh, look, you got a Team Flowers.
Yeah, I mean, that means we're winning. Team Flowers winning.
Well, I am gonna be talking about some flowers. I have some flowers in my box, so.
Yeah, it is really exciting to see, all the like plant sorter, all the perennials and stuff getting opened up.
It's filling up. It's definitely. I'm filling up every little bit.
In a couple.
Oh, look, Ian! I got some Team Veggies.
Yeah, but I'm still seeing more.
Okay,
flowers.
let's do the vote, guys.
Team Flowers.
Okay, Team Flowers or Team Veggies.
We got some biannuals here.
Where are we at? I'm assuming there's gonna be some extra veggies here today, because we're gonna be talking about veggies on the farm so much.
It's like 50-50
I don't know. Yeah, right it is. Pretty balanced.
Yeah, I'm calling it an even split today.
Well, Team Flowers will be disappointed because we're going to be talking about lots of veggies today. So last week, I'm going to try to make this like a continuation of last week. Because basically I'm going through.
Team Flowers seems to be taking off a little here.
You guys don't encourage Ian too much.
Team Flowers having a moment.
If you guys come in here and you influence him too much, then he's going to start heckling me about the fact we have to make all these flower videos.
Oh, yeah. We definitely have to make lots of flower videos.
There's gonna be a lot more flowers this year, for sure.
We have a video too that we're ready to drop tomorrow. And by ready to drop, I mean Serena has
I
to
have to go.
finish
I have to go
editing
make
tonight.
it after I hang out with you guys.
Yeah. But I already did a first cut on it. It should be ready to go pretty quick. And we're gonna drop that tomorrow. And that is going through that. I'm kind of referencing the video, but all the perennials that we picked up
I haven't looked
in
at it at all.
Vancouver.
Ian's the one who did it, but
it's all the stuff that we went to Vancouver to get. It's like kind of just going through all that stuff.
Is it like? Do I talk about like the dahlias?
Yep. Talk about the dahlias.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You make it wait to the end of the video.
Yeah, I make everyone wait because I know how. So we do these live videos, and it always blows my mind how many of you guys go and watch these live videos. Means you're obviously really wishing we would make more than one video a week, but we're just so busy. But one of our like I don't know, it's probably in the top 20 for views out of anything on our channel was last year's unboxing of the dahlias and everything from that order. So I figured since you guys actually might go and watch that one, I'd be kind to you. And so I'd make it a recorded one so I could cut out all the times when I lose track of what I'm talking about and keep it from being 2 hours.
Well, I think at this point in time, I'm going to go get the kids some dinner. I cooked them some rice.
Well, next week, because I think with this unboxing sum up, I better get through it all. And then the unboxing of the perennials, I think that'll be it.
That's all the videos we're making?
No, but that'll be it for all the seeds. I was thinking maybe next week for the live video, maybe I'd talk about all the tomatoes that I'm starting.
And then we have a video where you're soaking the
No. That's gonna be part of the video.
Yeah, video. That's a long ways away.
Yeah.
And you got
the video that we have that I
collab.
keep teasing, but I haven't done the work for it, is the collab that we have with Nicole.
Yeah. And I filmed an interview.
Yeah, and Ian spent the last 4 months organizing.
We never had a good time.
Interview to learn about grow lights.
Yeah, so it's cool. Like this company reached out to us, and they.
But backstory, every day we have 10 emails from companies being like, grow lights. We want to we love your channel.
Yeah.
We especially like video about the marijuana. Please.
Yeah.
Grow light video review. Yeah.
Because it's all these companies that want us to, do a video about their lights. And they're all just kind of, clones of each other lights. They're all, the same light with different brand names or whatever it is, right? But this is a company that is out of the US, and
this company lucked out the day that they emailed.
Yeah.
Because Ian was like, I want to learn about grow lights, but I want an expert.
Yeah, I was like,
and then it was the first email we'd gotten in a month that wasn't in Chinglish.
Yeah, and I just wanted to have somebody who I could ask the questions to about LED grow lights, and then they could answer that. Because for one, that would give me the reason to do some studying on the subject, but I wouldn't have to know all the answers to be able to present all the right information. I'd only have to know the questions to be able to present the actual answers.
I don't know, but is it harder to know the questions or is it harder to know the answers?
It's harder to know the answers.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about in a wishy-washy, bigger picture.
I mean,
thing.
I've seen the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We all know that it's easy enough to get the answer, but if you don't know the question,
42. The answer is 42. But grow lights, it's more just about presenting the proper information. And so I did an interview with this company, and we kind of do like a really good overview of all the different stuff that you need to know when you're picking out your grow lights. So that video should be coming to you in 2021. We've never edited a video of that format before, so I am expecting it to be a little bit of pain, a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. And no Mary Jane videos.
Yeah,
saying
no.
that. That's not our channel. But everybody,
unless we could like
get a sponsor.
Yeah, let's get sponsored by a music company, and then we could have Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Oh, okay.
One more time to feel the pain.
Tom Petty referencing.
Yeah, some sweet Tom Petty soundtrack.
Well, I would gladly be sponsored by Tom Petty.
Sponsored by, brought to you by Tom Petty. And what we get is the ability to use some sweet Tom Petty songs. I'd make that like our soundtrack if we could just. Yeah. So, if anyone knows Tom Petty,
he passed away.
Oh, well, if anyone knows Tom Petty's estate, who has the rights to his music, then let them know that we'll take what we can get.
Somebody's saying that the cheapo shop lights are all you need, and I agree.
I 100% agree. Like the only thing is maybe you need like 3 instead of 2.
And the seedlings that we grew under the nice lights, they did grow like they grew faster. They grew faster. They were like a richer color. They didn't get as leggy. There's lots of different things.
But like I have to be careful with them because they can like burn plants too.
And also the difference is if you're trying to grow like flowering things, fruits, whatever it is, then they don't cut the mustard. But my opinion is
why are you trying to do that?
If you're growing
seedlings, like why are you trying to why would you try to grow like a tomato inside your house? Just like grow 5 tomatoes outside in the summer, throw them in your freezer, and then it's sad, but just wait because it's not worth the money.
Yeah.
Okay, get out of here. This is supposed to be an unboxing video. And instead it's Ian and I talk about Tom Petty video, which obviously you guys all expect. Unless this is your first time here, and then in that case, I'm sorry, but don't expect any better because this is exactly what happens in our live videos. Okay, so last time I was talking about my William Dam seeds. This is the unboxing of all of the stuff that I do for the farm, pretty much. So I also I basically have done the flowers, but this is most of the veggies. And so I think most of the bigger stuff that I did last time was the greens, was like different greens, and I talked about that a bunch. And I do have some lettuce in here, so we'll stop back again talking about greens briefly again. But there's a lot more of my more specific crops in here, stuff that it's not like, oh, I'm planting an entire bed of 3 times a year. Stuff that I plant once and then I pick off of a bunch. Or stuff that is going to be for my seedling sale. So last time, I think I talked about my beans. There was all my beans. That was exciting from last week. And I talked about the zucchinis. I did a whole thing, we talked a whole chunk about zucchinis because I saw this on the top. This was still in here. And then I think, did I talk about cucumbers? I can't remember if I talked about my cucumbers last time. Because I'm seeing some cucumbers in here too. I might have talked about that already. But yeah. So I got some stuff in here. I got some random stuff. And so the other thing that I have that isn't in here Okay, I don't think I talked about the cucumbers yet. So I took out some of my tomatoes. I think the big chunk of tomatoes got pulled out of this box because I've now started all of the tomatoes that I'm gonna have. I did do cucumbers. Well, I might do cucumbers again because there's more cucumbers in here. Yeah. So, sorry guys, I'm distracted. Yeah. So I have some tomatoes that aren't in here. So I might just next week I'll talk about all the tomatoes that I'm starting for my seedling sale. Because I had to make the decisions. So this box of seeds, it like wasn't coming, and I was like, oh my god, I need seeds. What am I gonna do for my seedling sale? Because you have to start tomatoes quite a bit ahead. You got to start your tomatoes 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks before you plant them out. So that for me, I usually start them like March 15th. So I had to have everything started by then. And I didn't know that my seeds were going to be here in time. So I bought a bunch from like a local company. I dug through in a bunch of my old seeds. I kind of like scrounged around and I made a plan. But then my seeds came on time. And then I had 1 million different options. And I'm not allowed to grow 1 million different options. I think at this point, there's like 25 trays. So I think I have about 2,000 tomato, maybe more. Because if I include mine, I think maybe I have 2,500. Maybe there's 2,500 tomatoes that I have for this year. Like individual tomatoes, not different varieties. And then I tried to limit myself to about 25 different varieties, because this year I would prefer to have I'd prefer to have enough of everything for everyone, right? Because this will be my 4th year of doing a seedling sale. So I've seen what people have asked for enough times that I have a better idea of what to start. So I think maybe next week, depending on if we have more exciting news to share in next week's live video, maybe I'll go through and I'll show you guys how all the seedlings are doing. Oh, red torch and bronze torch. That was, I started some of those for the seedling sale as well as some for me. But yeah, maybe I'll talk all about tomatoes, and I'll talk about what I picked for the seedling sale and why I've picked it next week. Yeah, and I've also started peppers. Things I haven't started are rolling my paper pots. I'm gonna have like a 40-hour day of paper pots. I can do 100 paper pots an hour while watching television. That's how fast I can do the paper pots. And I think I probably need 3,000. So because for my personal tomatoes, I don't actually put them in the paper pots because I can pull them out of the pots and then save the pots. I like to do the paper pots so people aren't wasting the plastic. But yeah, so it's a good thing I haven't been watching anything on Netflix lately, because I'm gonna have a whole lot of series I'm gonna have to binge because I'm gonna have a lot of paper pots to be rolling. Because every year I say, oh, I'm gonna do them well I like in the winter when it's quiet, but they take a really long time to pot up. So it usually doesn't. It's not too bad. I can usually kind of like sit down, like after the kids go to bed, and I'll like roll like 300 or 400 paper pots, and then that's the amount I can pot up the next day. So it takes a while. It takes a while to get everything potted up for the sale. Okay, so the one tomato seed I have in here is this. This is the cherry tomato. This is like the cherry tomato that I do. That's like my favorite, and it's Sakura. This super productive red cherry tomato, good flavor. It's a little bit bigger, which makes it really good for selling because it's a bit bigger. It fills the baskets a little bit faster than teeny tiny. Like I will never grow a currant tomato to sell on the farm because it just takes so much time to pick them. So the Sakura I really like for doing my baskets. And then so this is the bulk of the tomato that I do, right? So in my mixed cherry tomato baskets, about 50% of what's in there will be Sakura, and then I do another 50% of like the funnest and funkiest and coolest cherry tomatoes I can get my hands on. So the Sakura is good because it's highly profitable for me, and it's good. It's like it's really tasty. And then because it's like simple and productive and profitable, then I can justify the fussy, less productive ones to add in for all the pretty and the mix and everything. The Sakura is pretty expensive. I don't actually sell this at my seedling sale, right? So like this pack, it's $32 or $33 for 100 seeds, right? So that's like, that's 3 seeds for $1. That's a little bit too pricey for me to be able to afford it for the seedling sale. For tomatoes, I can have, because that's part of my profitability, like how much work the tomatoes are the main thing that affects how much the tomatoes cost. But the Sakura seeds, they are pretty expensive. So I do, and also like I can see you guys all talking about the Super Sweet 100, and the Super Sweet 100 is the tomato that people ask for the most. The Sakura, people really like it for farming because of that little bit bigger size. But I think that people like the smaller cherry tomatoes on homegrown plants, and so the Super Sweet 100 is the red cherry tomato that I do, that I like sell like a lot of. That's one of the things that I do, like a lot of them. And another one that's similar is what is it? Sweet Million. And I find that I have good luck with that too. Okay. There's a lot in here. So yeah, I need to get my eyes on the prize, guys. I need to get organized and we gotta try to get through here, and I do have to kind of make this quick. I can't go for 3 hours, same as last week. So okay, because you know me, I get so distracted. Okay, so random things that I have in here is I have some herbs. Okay, so I have this Korean mint. And it's supposed to, here, what does it say? For micro salad green or seasoning, strong licorice mint flavor. And when I open this package, it has like this crazy smell. It kind of smells like old lady perfume. But I think it's this. I think whatever this smells like, this weird licoricey perfume smell, it's very fragrant and very, kind of floral, perfumey smelling. So I'm pretty excited to see this. I bought this pack because I want to grow a bunch of this for doing greenery for cut flowers. That's like my plan for this. I'm going to sprinkle this around. Saying will flower 12 to 14 weeks after seeding. Start indoors in April for summer blooms. I don't know. Hardy to zone 6. So this will be borderline for me. But it might be, yeah. So Korean mint. This is something that I want to try for. And then I have oregano, common oregano. This is another one that I want to do as greenery for the cut flowers. And I honestly, these I should probably bring out and I should start them now. I should try to do these as seedlings. And then I have tarragon. So I have tarragon in my garden, and it comes back every year, and I really like it as a greenery, especially earlier. Sometimes it can be hard to find stuff in like late spring, early summer, and the tarragon always does really well for me. But so Russian tarragon. Hardy perennial, used to add flavors to savory food. And the Russian one, I think, is like it's hardier and taller than French tarragon. So that's why I bought this. So the French tarragon, which is the one that I currently grow, it has a really good flavor. This Russian one, the flavor is not as good, but because it's taller, it should be better for the cut flower. So, the tarragon, the oregano, it's saying zone 4 for perennial, but oregano I have a hard time keeping it alive here. And then the mint, it's kind of borderline. But that's all stuff that I want to kind of play with. It might not do very much for this year, but maybe I can get it to establish in, start bulking up some herbs. The herb garden, herbs I use a lot for greenery and filler in my cut flowers. And so the more I start to, put stuff in now, the more I'll have it in future years if it's perennial. So that's some of that stuff. Yeah, invasive mint. I'm running an experiment. I did it the year that I moved here. I planted all my mint plants, which I refused to ever plant in the ground, into the. I like that someone's like, "Oh, I'm arriving late. I'm Team Flowers." Get their vote in. Yeah, I planted all my mints in the ground when I moved here, which I'd never done before, because I want to see. I want to see if my mint can outgrow my grass. I have it on like the border at this point where the grass is kind of like creeping into my herb garden. So I have the mint there, and my hope is that the mint takes over and I just have a lawn of mint, because that would be wonderful, because I hate grass, as you guys probably know from the name of our channel. But yeah, that would be fun if the mint just started spreading everywhere. But so far, grass is more invasive than mint. It's keeping the mint at bay. And it also might be that I'm not watering enough, and maybe the mint needs more water where we are. I haven't killed my mint yet, but it hasn't taken over. So, yeah. So, and so I see someone asking about like harvesting and stuff on the tarragon. And so in general, the trick with herbs is the more you harvest herbs, the happier herbs are. And I've really experienced that, because when we moved here, I planted all my herbs. I had like a herb garden in our front yard garden before. And then when we moved here, they were pretty nice plants. I spaced them out a bunch. I turned my 100 square foot herb garden into a 300 square foot herb garden. And now that I pick them regularly to have them for selling, they've never been happier, and they're really bulking up, and they grow a lot more now than they used to. So my best advice for herbs is, even if you're not going to use it, maybe twice a year, kind of early summer, go in there and just mow it down, just hack it down, throw it in the compost if you don't want it. Right? There is a limit to how much sage any one person can use, or go and hack it and like make a wreath, have this like pretty little herb wreath, for a couple weeks. And then hack it again late summer, and then let it grow back for then some winter kill to come in. But yeah, the more I harvest the herbs, the happier they've been since we moved here. Okay, next thing, cucumbers. Apparently I didn't talk about cucumbers because I got all these cucumbers here. And I did talk about cucumbers last week. Oh, winter boar. That needs to go in the kale pile. So last week because I went through all my oversized packs last week, just because that was how I had my box sorted. And I have a huge oversized pack of tasty green cucumber. And that is the main cucumber that I grow for my farm. So I think I talked a bunch about like how much I like that one. And I really like that one. So in here, a lot of these are cucumbers that, okay, so the first one, I'm not growing this for the farm. This is Martini. And this cucumber, this is the tastiest cucumber that I've ever had personally. And they look so cool because they're this like they're this like albino color. This cucumber, super, super tasty, but they were small. They're not a pickling cucumber, but they're this like tiny little snacker cucumber. So because the fact that they're small and they look super weird, they were hard for us to sell. So Ian said, nope, you're not allowed to grow this for the farm anymore. And I'm like, no, but it's so good. Which is fine because I'm all about making money for things that we grow. So I don't like to grow things that I can't grow. I don't. Okay, so martini, it might not be available in the States, but there was like an albino style cucumber that was the flavor being explained sound really cute, similar to the martini but larger, that Johnny's had. I can't remember the name of it, but I bought it because I'm hoping it's like a bigger cucumber. So I'm hoping that maybe that Johnny's one has the things that I like about martini, but in a cucumber big enough that I can afford to, I can sell it, make some money on it. But yeah, martini was so good. And I loved it so much. And in the summer, it's very hot here and I'm outside and I'm working all day. And so I like cucumbers are like my Gatorade. I just eat them all day long. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. No martini for the farm, but I'm planning on the edges of my cucumber beds for the farm. I'm going to plant a couple martini plants, and then that way every single time I walk by, I can stop, I can grab some martinis to snack on. I can still have them, I can still enjoy them, without growing so many that that I can't sell them all and they kind of just go to waste. I don't know the name of the Johnny's one. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I think it was a white Japanese style cucumber. But yeah, I saw you guys saying a couple names and I can't remember the name. The other cucumber that I grow for the farm, and I'm not going to do it this year, is Diva. This is a really good production, really tasty cucumber. Itachi. That's probably it. That rings a bell if that's the white one, because I bought 2 Japanese style cucumbers from Johnny's. I bought the white Japanese one and then the green one that is like their alternative to Tasty Green. But Itachi rings a bell. I'm definitely growing that and I'm excited for it. Okay, so Diva. Diva, it's saying sweet, crisp, beta alpha type, which needs no pollination and contains few seeds. 52 days. So Diva, this has been an excellent cucumber for me, but it's shorter and fatter, and we sold this well, but every time it was kind of the Tasty Green would sell first, and then after all the Tasty Greens were gone, people would start buying the Divas. And I'm limited in space, so I might as well grow the one that people grabbed first. So instead of giving half my space to Diva this year, only Tasty Green. And it makes sense. The Diva, super tasty, like excellent, good production. The fact that it's saying it doesn't need pollination meant that like I never had any issues with it in the tunnel. But yeah, the Diva looks like a garden cucumber. The Diva looks, like a Market More cucumber. Whereas the Tasty Green looks like an English cucumber. So aesthetics wise, the Tasty Green looks like a more valuable cucumber. And flavor wise, I like them both exactly the same. And so I see the question about labeling varieties at the farm. I don't. And I talk to you guys all the time about varieties because I'm assuming the people who watch our channel are watching for like gardening tips. That's the reason why I do these unboxing videos, right? Like I don't no one cares like what I have in a box of seeds, right? Like I'm assuming the value of these unboxing videos is me telling you like what it is I like about the seeds and why I bought the seeds. It's like a seed review video. But yeah, so we don't label things by name. There are very few things in our market. Like sometimes stuff makes sense to label by name because people are very, very like they want to know that they're getting exactly that. Like so this year, for our tomato, we're doing a large tomato and people told us that we had the best tomato out of anyone at the farmer's market. So that's a good sign. People are like, I bought it from you because yours are the best. Obviously, the reason why mine, like, I'm not the best grower at the market. The reason why mine is the best is because I picked the best tomato. So I'm probably going to start marketing that tomato by name, and start building brand recognition around that tomato. You know, and it has risk, right? Like I can start selling it by name, being like, best tomato you've ever had, it's called this. And then other people start growing it, and then everyone's like, well, I don't have to buy it from Red Roof Family Farm. Everyone grows Pink Berkeley. Now that I know that Pink Berkeley is the best tomato. But yeah, in Kelowna, people buy Hackeri turnips. But at the same time, I would label a small salad turnip as a Hackeri turnip, even if it isn't Hackeri the variety. Because when people say they want a Hackeri turnip, what they mean is they want a salad turnip. They just mean they don't want like a big, like, you know, stewing, oversized stewing turnip. It means they want these like smaller, mild, you know, to eat raw turnip. But yeah, so when you're selling food, the tomato is Pink Berkeley tie-dye. The best tomato ever, the only one I'm growing to sell. I'm growing other ones for me, but yeah. So Diva, you know. Yeah, and so the other thing too, like for like why I wouldn't sell my cucumbers under a name is I'm going to be bringing 3 cucumbers down to market that are going to all look really similar. They're all going to taste really similar. And I think most of my customers won't be able to tell a difference. But at home, I'm going to be keeping track of which one is going to have the highest production plant, right? I'm doing like a trial of other Japanese cucumbers. And in the end, Tasty Green might not be the winner. It might be a different variety. So if I start selling things by the specific name, but every year I change the variety of what I'm growing, then I'd kind of be shooting myself, just shooting myself in the foot. Better off just to label it as cucumber. But yeah, okay. So I got this big pack of Diva cucumbers, and so the reason why I bought it is this is such a great cucumber that I'm gonna do up a bunch for the seedling sale. You know, I'm not gonna bother. Here, what do I have? Yeah, I'm not gonna bother doing a Market More cucumber. like, you know, that Market More cucumbers are not that great. Like I found something even better. I found this like Diva. It's way better. So my seedling sale customers, they're gonna be able to get that, right? Like and then they'll have so much luck with it, you know, because that's so what I do. Yeah, I know this person. They might just be sometimes stuff. Here, they're in timeout now. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so I'm just gonna briefly talk about the about what I was saying about not selling stuff by variety name at the market, and then also because a lot of what I'm gonna be showing in here is stuff that I'm buying for the seedling sale, and that like that kind of is worth touching on, because in the same way that I'm very intentional about what I grow for the farm, I'm very intentional about what I buy for my seedling sale, because in the same way I want to have the best stuff being sold at, you know, for my veggies, because why else would people buy from me other than the fact that it tastes really good? I want to have the best stuff at my seedling sale, because, you know, I'm not in the same way that at the market, I'm not competing on price. I'm competing on the fact that I'm worth the extra money because, oh man. Yeah, so I'm not competing on price at the market, because I want just like I want people to pay what a better product is worth. So I'm not competing on price at the seedling sale because I can't. It's just too much work. And it costs a lot of money to do the seedling sale. And I don't have the same volume to bring my costs down as like some like big box stores, you know, or even like the local nurseries. So what I'm doing instead is I'm offering like the best stuff I possibly can as the reason why people should buy seedlings from me. You know, like I said, there's some stuff like the Sakura where it's very expensive, so the seed, and so I can justify it for the farm, but I can't justify it for the seedling sale. But at the same time, the what I'm looking for sometimes for the farm isn't the same as what people are looking for in the seedling sale, for like their home gardens, right? So there's a bunch of stuff that's super, super expensive that I buy. And what I have coming up next is like a good, oh, no, fuck. Sorry. I hit the wrong button. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry guys. Just okay. Sorry, I'm distracted. But trying to deal with all the chat spam. Okay. What am I saying? Okay, so varieties. Okay, so when I'm at the farm, or so the stuff they grow at the farm, I'm not selling it by name, because I know they pop up quicker for me than they pop up for anyone else. So it is easy to just like delete them off, but I accidentally added them as a moderator because I pressed the wrong button. But yeah, we'll all get rid of them eventually. They'll lose lose their you guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, exactly. You know, people always send me messages all the time about how they like watch my videos with like their like little kids and stuff. So, you know, I always try to be family friendly. Okay. So I don't sell stuff by name at the farm stand. And part of that is because like people don't know the names, right? People don't know. That's pretty like that's advanced level even gardening to know names of varieties, right? Like even beginner gardeners, like you're growing cucumbers. You're not like, you know, I'm a seed snob. I'm like, "Oh, cucumber? No. I don't do cucumber. I do tasty green cucumber. And I'm pretty sure there's a better cucumber out there than tasty green." You know, like that, like I'm ridiculous. I'm a ridiculous human being. Obviously, like I'm sure part of the reason why you guys enjoy watching me do these seed videos is that I'm ridiculous. But yeah, like the veggie customers, you know, they just want a really good tasting cucumber. They don't need to know the name of it. Yeah, and so I'm also, because it's marketing, right? Like that's like a conversation about marketing. And there is some stuff that we've talked about selling. There's lots of stuff that's really good tasting that is hard to sell because it's hard to convince people to buy it. Right? Like it's kind of like kale. Kale got trendy and now everyone is into kale, but before kale was trendy, it was like disgusting rabbit food. So you need to find a way to sell people on stuff, right? And so many veggies, the way they sell people on stuff is to say that it's a superfood, right? You know, it's like, "Oh, it's full of antioxidants." And I'm like, "Well, you know, what does that mean?" And so I'm always trying to think of the way of spinning some of my favorite things into a way to get people to try them for the first time. So like a good example of that is I really like sorrel. Sorrel it's like really, really tasty. It has this really lemony, it's like soft like spinach, and then it has this really tangy lemony flavor. And I make some of the best smoothies ever, in my opinion. And I think the reason why is because I put sorrel in them, and it has this like really amazing tropical flavors, right? There's no citrus. there's no there's no citrus around here. So the fact that I can have this green that's like, you know, grows well here in Canada, but has these like tropical citrusy flavors is, you know, that's exciting for me. If I bring sorrel down to the farmer's market and I try to sell it, I will sell zero. Like, it doesn't matter. I could like talk all day till I'm blue in the face about how great sorrel is. No one's ever going to buy it. But I'm thinking of planting sorrel and selling it and not calling it sorrel, but instead calling it lemon leaf, right? And I think that when I bring sorrel down and I say, oh, it has this like wonderful, like tropical lemony flavor, it's called lemon leaf. You know, here's a bag of lemon leaf, like great in your smoothies, you know, or and not red vein sorrel. Red vein sorrel is like beautiful. It's a very pretty plant, but it doesn't taste very good. Got to do like a proper French sorrel. Because I'm a snob even about sorrels. But yeah, so this is my plan. I'm gonna bring sorrel down. I'm gonna sell it as lemon leaf. I'm gonna get everyone hooked on sorrel. Everyone's gonna think that sorrel is amazing. Then like perfect, right? And lemon leaf perfectly explains like very quickly what sorrel tastes like and why you should buy sorrel, right? You know, whereas like sorrel sounds bad. Sorrel doesn't sound exciting. So, you know, like, and so that's kind of what I'm doing with with things that go down to the farmer's market itself for veggies, right? At my seedling sale, the seedling sale is a different customer. So I do label what I have at the seedling sale under names, right? So people, you know, because the idea is that people can figure out. Gotta let you guys try that one. I want you guys to figure out what is good and what grows well, right? So I'm always gonna sell my seedlings under a name. But a lot of the customers that come to me for the seedling sale, they'll be like, well, I want a cucumber. I want to have a cucumber in my garden. Or they'll say, or people quite often, they'll come to me and they'll be like, I have space for 4 tomatoes. You know, they don't come saying, oh, I want this tomato and this tomato and this tomato and this tomato. They come and they're like, I don't know, like this is how much space I have. Like, can you recommend something to me? And so what I'm doing with my seedling sale is, so I have the name, I have it labeled as the name, but I am trying to buy the stuff that I know works well. I'm trying to buy, especially the stuff that I know works well here, right? So in the same way that when I look at a seed catalog for myself, I'm like, what is going to grow well for me dealing with the Okanagan conditions? And so I'm basically doing that work for my customers because I want the seedling sale customers, when they take home their plants, for them to plant them and for them to have like the best success that they've ever had with seedlings out of any of the seedlings that they've ever bought before. You know, like I'm basically like, when you get to the point of seed snobbery that I'm at, you stop buying seedlings because you are being super picky about the varieties. But if you're buying seedlings, you're not quite there yet. So I'm like bringing some of my seed snobbery to the seedling sale so that the people who shop with me have really successful gardens, so that they come back and buy more, or just so that they have successful gardens. That's enough for me. So yeah. I don't know. I forget why I went on this tangent, and I don't know if it made sense because I kept getting distracted. But yes, that's kind of like what I'm doing with the seed stuff. Okay, and so I have these cucumbers in my hand, and this is the perfect example of what I was saying about some stuff for the for me to grow. Whereas there's some stuff that's for the seedling sale. So what I have here, another cucumber. This is a Piccolino, and this is a pickling cucumber. This is like a teeny tiny little pickling cucumber. And I think, honestly, I think that these can be like a snacker cucumber. Crisp, sweet, early producing, 10 to 13 centimeter mini cucumber, perithoscopic, 45 days. So this, I'm excited. I'm excited to try this. I will never sell this at my seedling sale because like they're just like take a little peek on the pricing. I know it's not wanting to focus. But yeah, so these seeds are like $1 as a seed. And at my seedling sale, the cucumbers, I sell them for $2 per plant, right? So like this is like $1 a seed. You know, I can't afford it. And like, you know, most people with a home garden aren't going to be like, aren't going to be buying this. So I have no idea how to say this, guys. Parthenacare carpic, I don't know. But anyways, this means they don't need to be like pollinated. It means it can be in the tunnel and I don't have to worry about it, right? So this is going to be super high production. And so I'm giving this a try because where I'm at now, I don't think that pickling cucumbers make sense for me, because I don't think I can produce enough for the price. People don't want to pay a lot of money for pickling cucumbers. They want them to be very cheap. They buy them in bulk, so you know that you sell a lot, but they don't want to spend a lot of money. So this is my experiment to see if like a super high production pickling cucumber could maybe produce enough for me to justify growing pickling cucumbers. But people want to buy pickling cucumbers at my seedling sale. So what I have here is I have Eureka. You know, and you can see the price is a little bit better on Eureka. It's $8 for 150 seeds. And Eureka is excellent dark green main season variety with high yields, disease resistant, market 54 days. So, you know, great. This, and I've grown this before. This is like a good producing, excellent pickling cucumber. There are pickling cucumbers that that aren't hybrids. There's like open pollinated, like, you know, half a penny cucumbers that I could be buying for my seedling sale, and I could label it as pickling cucumber. You know, and I could, you know, because I still did spend, let's see, so these are going to be like 5 cents a seed, right? So, you know, this still has like a, you know, significant seed cost for me, because I just said that the seedlings for the seedling sale are $2. So 5 cents off of $2, that's, you know, that's a high percentage of the cost is in the seed itself, you know, and you don't get 100% germination. These have 90% germination, right? So I'm going to lose some, you know, and then some of them get like damaged and stuff. But I would rather sell Eureka, which I know is a good cucumber for around here, than to save 4 cents on my seedling sale, right? It's worth 4 cents to sell the 5 cent good pickling cucumber at the seedling sale. And then maybe it's worth $1 a seed for me if I can produce like, you know, 3 times the production per square foot and stick these in my greenhouse and, you know, have these do really good. So I don't know if that makes sense, but at very least, those are the pickling cucumbers I have in this box. Okay, you guys, we got to get through this. I have no one to blame but myself, but it is ridiculous how long these take. Okay, Swiss chard. I grow Swiss chard on the farm. I also grow Swiss chard for the seedling sale. This is not my favorite Swiss chard. This is Bright Lights. This is not the tastiest of the Swiss chards. In my opinion, I think that one of the tastiest Swiss chards is Silverado. There's another one. What's the other one I do? It's like a giant. I feel like it has like a city name, like Oxfordshire Giant or something. But that's not it. Though I find the green chards are way tastier. But I only sell green Swiss chard when I'm sold out of the colored Swiss chard. And there's like a lady who like buys Swiss chard for me like all year long. Every week she'd come and she'd buy Swiss chard, and she made me laugh because every single time she came to buy Swiss chard, it was like I was cursed. Every time she'd come, there would be like something that would happen to my Swiss chard. Like she'd show up and I'd be like, oh yes, thank you. Ford Hook Giant. That is my favorite Swiss chard. It's really tasty. And then Silverado is really tasty too, but it's a little bit more compact of a plant. If I had to pick one, I'd probably do the Ford Hook Giant. Yeah, so every time this lady would show up, I'd be like, oh, I have Swiss chard, and then I'd like go in my fridge, and my fridge would have like frozen overnight. It got to be like funny because of how many times it happened that I'd have to like go and like be like, okay, just like 1 minute, I'll pick you like a fresh bunch of Swiss chard. But even her, and she was like, oh yeah, this is like good Swiss chard. Even she'd get suckered by how beautiful the bright lights were, even though she was, if anyone was a Swiss chard snob, it must have been her. But yeah, so bright lights, it's super beautiful. What I do when I grow bright lights is I grow these as seedlings. So I start them ahead of time. And part of the reason why I grow them as seedlings is it's like a mix of colors. And I grow way more seedlings than plants. So I do an entire bed of Swiss chard. I do 150 plants. And I don't know. I really like the green ones. And this is the struggle. This is the struggle of like selling veggies. Like, so I go like, everyone buys the bright lights and I'm like, no, but the green tastes better. People will ask me, they'll be like, which one's better? And I'll be like, the green one's better. And then they'll like look and then they'll grab bright lights. And I'm like, no, but the green one's so much better. And they're like, yeah, but like even your bright lights is like really tasty. And I'm like, oh, but it's so good, the green. And they're like, so I should stop growing the green because no one wants to buy it. But I'm like, oh, it's so much better. And like, so I don't know. I might just grow. I might just grow bright lights because, after 2 years of trying to convince everyone to eat the green and not having them do it, maybe I'll give up. But so what I do is I grow like way more of these than what I actually need because I have 150 plants per bed for my Swiss chard bed. And so, I probably maybe even like if I was going to do a full 400, I probably plant like 300, maybe even 400 like seedlings of the bright lights. And then when I go to plant the ones into the farm, I pick through the baby seedlings and I pick the absolute brightest, most vibrant colored of the seedlings so that when the plants are planted out, they're like super, super bright. And then I also make sure to pick by color, right? So I make sure like that I'm growing an equal amount of the pink and an equal amount of the red and an equal amount of the yellow, so that it's not like, oh, because I found the yellows are not, there's not as many yellows, right? So I need extras to make sure I have enough yellow. Yeah, so that's my trick for this. Grow extra as seedlings, and then you can be really picky, and then you can get the best of the bright lights, because the color that they show as babies, right? Like the more vibrant the babies are, the more vibrant the full-grown plants will be. And like the color's crazy on these. Like the roots, like the red ones have red roots. The yellow ones have like yellow roots. They're really cool. So like, I do agree with my customers, bright lights, it is a really good, like good production. It's not as heat tolerant as the green varieties, but it still survives like my hot summers. And it's beautiful. So, you know, you have permission to be like my customers and grow bright lights because it's beautiful. Okay, and then I have my kale, and this is it. I've tried them all, other than the KX1 kale that I have from Johnny's, and I'm super excited this year. But this is the final lineup on kale. After experimenting with all the kales, these are the best. Red boar, and red boar is like very expensive. Like, here's a perfect example. So red boar, you can see this pack. It's $20 for 250 seeds. And then the green one that I do is dark boar, and it's like $8 for 250 seeds. This is pricey, but there's another red. There's like the scarlet, I forget what it's called, like scarlet kale or something like that, and it looks pretty similar. Yeah, the red boar is worth the extra money. It's like way more productive and like way more like stronger and just beautiful. But this red boar, I really like it. I know it's expensive, so you don't have to do it. Honestly, we've found that people want the green kale. You know, I grow both, and the red kale is like so beautiful. But I sell the green kale better. I do really like it when it's bunched together. I think it looks really pretty when I do mixed color bunches. But yeah, people like the green better. And then the other kale that I do, which is like, if you were gonna only do one full-size kale, this would be the one that I'd recommend. It's winter boar, does really good in the summers. Darker boar, I find, does a little bit better. Darker boar doesn't get infested with aphids in the heat. Obviously, the heat stresses winter boar, and then it can get aphidy. Darker boar is heat is like such a strong plant that it, you know, doesn't get the issues. But yeah, the winter boar, it survives the winters here. Like currently I have winter boar growing like crazy outside. You know, and we get minus 20 Celsius, like, you know, super cold. It survives, no problem. This is an excellent kale. So, you know, I can't say enough good things about winter boar. I really like it. You know, and it had a few years where it was hard to come by and the price got really expensive. But like on this, it's $26 for 1,000 seeds. And I'm Canadian too. That's another thing. Like, I know most of you guys are in the States. So my prices are instantly 30% higher than your prices just because of currency. But yeah, this winter boar, if you'd never tried it, definitely try it, because you can plant it now, you can plant it in the summer, and you can plant it in the fall to go through the winter. Okay, this is seedling sale. I'll save this for last. Let's see. Okay, let's do some flowers. Maybe we still have some of those team flower people who are still here. So what I have here, I have 2 packs of this. I have no idea why. I think I got distracted and I added it twice. Nasturtiums. This is a flower, but it is a vegetable. Also at my house. So the nasturtium that I do is whirlybird nasturtium, and apparently this is another one that for some reason like only William Dam carries. No one else carries it. But if I didn't do whirlybird, jewel mix is like the alternative for whirlybird. The reason why I like whirlybird, and jewel mix does this too, is the flowers. Okay, so I need my hands. So nasturtiums it makes this like mound. It's not a trailing one, it's more of a mounding variety. So it makes this mound of greens. And the perk of whirlybird and jewel mix is that the flowers sit above the greens, right? So here's the mound. Let's make a demented little mound. Okay, so here's the mound. The flowers like stick up. right? Lots of nasturtiums, the flowers are, down here. And then you have to like, where are they to pick them? And I grow the nasturtiums for my salad mix. I grow them to add like a punch of color on top of my bagged salad mix. So by growing the one where the flowers stick up, it massively increases my speed of harvesting these flowers. And what I do with these is I usually like have a bed of lettuce and I just like I direct seed these, and then they kind of fizzled out last year, and then they started back up when it got cooler again. I really should be succession planting these and like ripping these out. But I also was like, whatever. By the time summer hit, I like kind of gave up on putting flowers in my salad mix. The salad mix does better when it has flowers. But I also, by the summer, there's less competition on the salad mix because it's hard to grow salad in the summer. So I don't need my salad mix to be the most beautiful salad mix at the farmer's market. Flavor, they're like spicy. They're like pungent and spicy, and they actually taste good. In general, I think lots of edible flowers, they're the perk of many edible flowers is that they're not poisonous. Not that they taste good. And in general, I find that a lot of edible flowers, you add them to your salad, you make your salad taste worse. Nasturtiums, you add them to your salad and it makes your salad taste better. It almost has like a mustardy flavor, right? So they actually do add something. Okay, and then so the other flowers I have in here is I have rocket mixture snapdragons, and this I don't know. I have some snapdragons started already. Maybe I'll start some of these. I find the rocket does well with the heat. And then the one that I've started already is the chantilly. So the chantilly mix blooms super, super early. It doesn't really like the heat though. So I kind of like, for snapdragon successions, I like the chantilly and the rocket. They kind of succession each other. Sorry guys, just hold on 1 second here. Getting a message from the neighbors. It sounds like maybe the other neighbor's cat. Okay. I bought these pansies. These showed up too late. I was thinking of planting them. But yeah. That's for next year. This I'm excited about. This is like one of those oversized African marigolds. Sorry, I'm okay. And then this, I love growing this. This is Sweet Alyssum. This is just classic. It's called New Carpet of Snow, but it's just classic white Sweet Alyssum. And this I grow a ton of this. For me, I really like it, and I grow little seedling plugs of it, and I spread it all over the farm. I plant like the fronts of all the beds, like along the front of the flower beds, so then I have like my like Sweet Alyssum. I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. I love Sweet Alyssum. Yeah, so that's flowers I have in there, but those are just, I don't know. I needed the snapdragons, but the other stuff, that was just, those were impulse buys. I did need the Sweet Alyssum too, but the marigolds, those are definitely impulse buys. Okay, and then the next thing I have in here is lettuce. So I really like Salanova, which you can only get from Johnny's. We grow, and then my favorite is the green sweet crisp. That's like my favorite. That's my favorite lettuce of all the lettuces. But it's not super heat tolerant. So last year I experimented with Muir, and this is supposed to be medium-sized heads that grow very upright and the hearts are well-filled, heat tolerant. So people say that Muir is like a really good in the heat lettuce. So I tried it and it is. It's a great lettuce. I really liked it. So I bought it again. And then I also did, oh, you know what? So I really like pelleted lettuce because it makes my life easier when I do seedlings. But it looks like this Sierra isn't pelleted. Too bad. But yeah, so, and then the other heat tolerant variety that I found is this Sierra. And it has this really nice like red tips. So Muir and the Sierra MI are kind of my bolt tolerant hot summer lettuces. And then I still have a ton of Salanova left over. So I need to use it up. So I didn't buy any Salanova this year, but instead there is this like easy cut lettuce that's supposed to be similar to like the advantages of the Salanova, but not only from Johnny's, right? So I ordered from brain farting here. I ordered from William Dam all the lettuces in their Easy Cut series. The one I was the most excited about is Ezarilla, is what I think the name of it was. And it looks and sounds like the Green Sweet Crisp, like it sounds like the exact same thing as the Green Sweet Crisp, but a way better price. So I was super excited about that, but then they didn't have it. It's like back ordered or something happened. So I didn't end up getting that. But they did send all the other Easy Leafs I bought, which, it's kind of like, it's not the one I wanted. But I'm getting them all. I'm going to experiment with them all. I'm going to see what they're like. So they're fast. They're 45 days, same as the Salanova stuff. They're supposed to be dense, good for doing the salad mix or doing the head lettuce. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll give them a try. So I got Buckley, and you can kind of see, let's see, come on, there. You can kind of see the picture. I know the pictures aren't that great. This one's an oak leaf, a red oak leaf. And then I got a green oak leaf, right? And this one, what is this? Hampton, right? So that's the green version of the oak leaf. And then here's a striking cherry red to vivid green lobed leaf. So this one, it's the heart, the inside is probably green, and so then it's just the tips that are red. So when I cut it, and that one is Brentwood, and then I have a deeply incised red tango type, and this one's burgundy. And then so this is, I think this is the red version of whatever the Ezarilla was supposed to be. So yeah, I thought I had more lettuce in here. Maybe it's in with this is the lettuce from my farm. And I might do some of this stuff for the seedling sale too. People, that's good to hear that it worked out well. I like the Salanova, but I'm always interested in trying new and trying different. I'm super happy that I tried the Muir. The Muir does way better in the heat than the Salanova. So my favorite is the Green Sweet Crisp out of the Salanovas. And I find like that it doesn't do as well with the heat as the round leaf. As the round leaf Salanova does. What are those? I can't remember the name of them. Sweet? No, I don't know. But yeah, so I'll give these ones a try. I tried. So like I said, I tried all of the What? I'm trying to remember the name. Yeah, the alarm. I turned the alarm off. It doesn't go off on Sunday nights anymore. The yeah, the I don't know. I can't remember the name of them, but I tried all the heat tolerant ones, and the Sierra, like, it was even better than the Mirror for the heat. They did really well. And this year we're also going to be experimenting with some shade cloth. So that's exciting too. Okay. Last stack. The box is empty. This is the end. Okay, and this is the stuff that I have for the seedling sale. So there is more lettuce. So these are the lettuces that I bought for the seedling sale, because these lettuces are like so pretty. When I pick lettuces for the farm, what I'm looking for is a really dense lettuce. I want something that has a heavy leaf. And part of that is that the denser and the heavier the leaf is, like, think of like a romaine versus like a head lettuce. The leaves are denser and heavier, and so they're a lot more, they have an easier time going down to the market. Some of the softer leafed stuff is very sensitive to the heat, and when we go to the market, they have to go out in the heat. So I need to be careful about what I'm growing for being able to handle my selling conditions. But for home gardeners, you can get away with some of the softer leaf stuff. So there's a bunch of lettuces that I do that I'd never grow on the farm, that I think are great home garden options. And then so these two here, to cover my face, like, just so you can see the colors on these are just, so fun, such fun colors. This is Lola or Lolo Bionda, and then this one's Lolo Darky. So pretty, these ones. And I think that they recommend these as doing as a baby leaf, for farming. They say that you plant this super dense and you do this as like a baby lettuce. And it's excellent that way, but it's really good as, as like a cut and come again, like when, home gardener style lettuce, you just pick the outside leaves, and then you can keep the plant going and you can get a little bit more of a harvest on it. These are great. These are great for eating that way. And like, even when these are babies, these are so pretty. And I've grown them before, because what I usually do with everything left over, Lolo Rosso, I think I grew that one once. But I think I picked this because of this. I picked these specifically for the colors. It's hard to find the colors in this. But yeah, so a lot of those ones, I do them as like head lettuces. Like, whatever's left over from the seedling sale, I plant it, and then I have like head lettuces, and then I sell them at the house rather than like bringing them down to the farmer's market. And so I've tried most of them, and they're good. They it's just different considerations sometimes for the home garden. Okay, and then so the other stuff that I have, is stuff that I don't grow on my farm, but always are like, super popular for the seedling sale. So I have broccoli, and the variety that I do is Bernie. It's best main season variety, uniform, medium large, high dome, blue-green heads, 60 days. And this one I actually planted. I had a bunch of this left over, so I just planted it in the farm last year, because I was all like, oh my god, COVID, I'm not gonna sell anything, might as well plant these leftover seedlings. And it did really good. I planted it like way too close, and it still produced like a really impressive amount. And the customers are always really happy with that variety. And then super classic snow crown, cauliflower, and this, I tend to look for stuff that's early, because we get so hot here that all of the brassicas, they can get really buggy. So it's better if I'm selling a variety that produces early so that people can like get a harvest on it before it gets all buggy and gross. So I mostly am selling early varieties. And for if you were gonna grow these for yourself, these are good because you could probably do 2 successions. But yeah. Okay, and then cabbage, I have Golden Acre. Just classic green. I think this is early compact open pollinated variety with oval heads weighing about a kilogram, 70 days. All of these I've grown and they've done well. And then I do red one. This is Primero. I like the flavor on this. Very uniform, deep red heads with small core, burst resistant, market use, 70 days. I find that the red stays smaller than the green. They just don't grow as big, but still they like good disease resistance. And then what's this? Tierra. Lettuce like cabbage called Letage. 4 pound, round, crisp, tender and juicy head, 60 days. I think I've done this before, but for the life of me, I don't remember this. Okay, and then the one that I grow for me personally, this is like my favorite, is Gunma, and it's 16-inch flat heads that has a sweet, mild taste and soft leaf texture. Perfect for cabbage rolls, 77 days. This reminds me of like an Asian style cabbage. I used to live near an Asian grocery store, and they got these like really good cabbages in all the time, and so this variety really reminds me of these ones they used to sell, and they get massive. They get like these big huge things, but then they're like flat. They're really weird. But yeah, that I like. That I don't usually do for the seedling sale. Usually I just grow some of that for myself. I have 150 seeds. I could grow it. You know what? Maybe that is a good point. Savoy cabbage. I usually grow one. Maybe I ordered this Tierra thinking that it was the frilly cabbage, and it's not. I don't know. I don't know why I bought that. But, lettuce like cabbage. It sounds great. And then getting big in 60 days. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking I was going to try cabbage on the farm or something. I don't know why I have that. Impulse buy. Okay, and then the last thing I have, Brussels sprouts. Jade Cross. Easy to grow for short season areas. Firm sprouts with excellent quality and taste. This is 100% for the seedling sale. I will never grow Brussels sprouts ever again because they do horrible for me. For the life of me, I can't grow Brussels sprouts. Oh, there is some more stuff. There's one more thing here. Yeah, but when I have Brussels sprouts, people buy them at the seedling sale. So I don't know. And then the last thing I have, because people asked me for this all the time, and I 100% do not grow this for myself, is a watermelon. This is Sugar Baby. Popular open pollinated melon for shorter seasons. Produces few seeds, 75 days. This is a small watermelon. We don't have enough of a growing season to do watermelon very well here. But I know, I'm on local garden groups, and people want melons. People talk about growing melons, and some people have success. I don't know what they're growing that they're having success with, or if they're just babying them, because I won't baby anything. I'm like, what? You can't survive with like water every second day? Done. You're cut off. But yeah. So I had people specifically ask for melons last year. I think people could have success with that one. With the talk of it being like an earlier melon and stuff. And then I have other stuff. I have other stuff for the seedling sale that's like leftover from other years. I usually like I have some squash. I do like some pumpkins. I do like a baby orange pumpkin. And then I do, like I do kale. And people like different kales for their gardens too. So I don't only just do like the winter boar and the dark boar, like what I showed you that I bought for myself. And I definitely I definitely do the green Swiss chards for the seedling sale. I probably have more luck selling the green Swiss chards at the seedling sale than I have luck selling the green Swiss chard at the farmer's market. Because people want easy to grow plants that are going to be successful. So when I'm like, these are more heat tolerant, people definitely like that. But yeah, so that's everything. Okay, so I saw one question that I'll like briefly oh wait, here, Tacoma, that's close to me. The mice, yeah. I have issues with the squashes. How much bok choy for the boy? Like how many bok choys am I growing? Well, I currently have 500 seeded, which is one bed, as seedlings, but I haven't had any pop yet. But the goal is we're gonna plant a full bed of bok choy, and then I have to restrain myself because we can never sell. I plant lots and then we eat lots because I can't sell it. I never feel bad having tons of bok choy and like sending it down to the food bank, and eating it like crazy. The bok choy we do spaced the same as our lettuce. We do 4 across on our 30-inch beds, and then we do every 6 inches. So it's a little bit larger spacing on the 30, that's kind of 7 inches instead of 6, but basically like 6 inches by 6 inches. So my 50-foot beds hold 400. And then I have 500 seeded, for germination, not making it, just making sure I have enough to do to fill the full bed, the full 400 bed. Okay, so how I keep my seeds. Yeah, like I throw them back in these boxes. But what I do with them is I sort all my seeds to get, like I keep them in those seed packets, and then I'll put everything of the same family together inside a bag, inside of a plastic bag. So all my cucumbers, kind of like how I went through it was like a pre-sort that I do anyways when I open and go through the stuff. I'd put all my cucumbers together. So all my cucumbers are together and they're in a bag. All my zucchinis are together in a bag. Like all my lettuces, because the Salanovas, they come in like little like plastic containers. So I have those all in a box. They're already in plastic, but all of my seed packets, right? Because water, humidity, things like that, that's like something that will, have negative effects on for your seeds, for keeping them. Because a lot of these seeds, I keep for like 3 years. It takes me about 3 years to get through it. So I keep them in plastic bags to protect them from any sort of wet weather. And then what I do, so I have them all categorized by individual categories. And I know going through this, it seems like I must have a million different categories. But so like that last clump, how I was like, I have this cabbage, I have this broccoli, I have this Brussels sprouts. That wouldn't be like it, when I go to sort it, the category I'd put that in wouldn't be like cabbage, and so there'd be one and it would be in a bag. That category would be seedling sale. Seedling sale 2-inch block stuff, right? And so those I'd all keep together because those I'd all be starting at the same time, and they're all kind of for the same purposes. I was saying I have my bok choy that I'm planting. My bok choy is categorized together with my kohlrabi, And so I have bok choy and kohlrabi all together, and then I also have gai lan. Gai lan's like another one, and I keep all those together, and those are things that I seed start for the spring, right? So that's like kind of their category. And then I have all of these random bags in an IKEA like rolling cart. I don't know, like they're really, really common like organization, like craft room organizing. They have like 3 shelves, and they're, you know, they come about waist high, and it's like a rolling cart. And so then I have all of my bags in the rolling cart. You know, so flowers, I have flowers like perennials. I have like a bag of perennial flowers because there's only so many. Um, I have, you know, I have all my zinnias together because I have like a few different varieties of zinnias. I have all my snapdragons together. I have all my cosmos together because those are kind of like bigger categories. I grow lots of that. But then I have like a, you know, like the alyssum, the sweet alyssum that I have. That would be in a bag of like marigolds, like, you know, like the just little marigolds. And that would be like the category of like things I plant. Calendula and sweet alyssum would get categorized together because that would be things that I plant around the farm in the spring. um, but yeah, so I have this IKEA rolling cart, and then all of these bags get put together in the IKEA rolling cart. I used to have one, now I have 2 because I bought too many seeds and I overflowed my first cart. And then when I do seed starting, I roll my cart out, like because the floors in the outbuilding are cement floors, so the cart rolls really nicely. I roll it out, and then I grab the bag of whatever I'm going to be seed starting, you know, and then I go from there. But you know, a lot, you know, like as I'm going through these seeds, like I didn't look this stuff up before talking to you guys today. You know, like that cabbage that I'm like, I don't know why I have this. Like, why did I buy this? You know, is kind of like the perfect example. Um, like, you know, I have a pretty good, like, it's in my head what I bought for seeds, why I bought it for seeds, what I'm gonna plant, when I'm gonna plant it. Um, you know, like I'm a lot of my plans for the garden, you know, like are like I'm not necessarily doing it on paper. I'm like, you know, I'm just like keeping track of it all like in my brain. Which is fine because I do most of the work myself, right? Like going into the future, if I needed to delegate those tasks, you know, I'd have to I over the winter, instead of just like making a plan that I'm sorting away, I'd have to like actually make like write out what the plan is so that someone else could implement my plan rather than me being like, oh, like I've hit this point on the weather, you know, because I'm deciding when to do things is based on the weather. Right. So I'm like, okay, it's finally warm enough. I can do this. It's finally warm enough. I can do that. You know, and then even though I have a lot of seeds, I also don't, right? Like, so I don't need to know like dates to maturity and stuff on on all the stuff that I'm doing for the seedling sale, right? Like I just need to know enough for the seedling sale to know that it'll work for the seedling sale. Whereas the stuff that I grow for the farm is a little bit different. But honestly, I probably only grow, you know, altogether, if I had to like break down for varieties, you know, over 100 different things, but probably less than 150 is what I have on the farm. And that's like down to like, you know, like I have a dozen different tomatoes. You know, I have, like I said, I have 8 different varieties of lettuce that I'm doing. You know, I grow 2 different varieties of carrots. I have, you know, I have a salad mix that is mustard greens. That is like, 8 different mustards, and, I have 6 different kales. So because I'm so familiar with all the stuff, because I've done a lot of it like year after year, and I also I only experiment with a few things at a time, just so that I can like mentally keep track of everything. A lot of the organizing, it's like organized chaos, right? Like I know, so my cart works really great because I know what's in the cart, right? Like, and the other thing that, I haven't talked about it too much lately because I'm more like, I'm getting the seeds in. I'm more on the receiving end. I've already done the mental work. But in the beginning of the winter, so like kind of November, December, I go through my seeds, and so I pull everything out. I pull everything out that I have left over, and I kind of, and I quite often will keep empty seed packs to remind myself of everything that I've grown, so that in that end of the season time when I pull everything out, that's my time to like kind of do an audit and to assess on like how the season went. I'm like, what was good, what wasn't good, what in this, perfect example, like the cabbage, right? Like, oh, it's a, this cabbage, I have this pack of cabbage seeds that like is unopened, and I don't remember why I bought this. Like, why do I have this pack of cabbage seeds? And at that point, if I'm like, what is this? Why do I have this? Why did I buy this? And I don't know. And I'm like, it goes, right? Because I'm like, I obviously like made an impulse buy, like, and so like, I hand it off. I like give it away to other people. Oh, I'm getting the call. But yeah, so, I'm always winnowing out old varieties as I'm introducing new varieties. And there's like a ton of stuff that I'm familiar with after, all these years of experience. So I am, it looks very unorganized, but it's partially because there's not that much there. And then volume, right? Like I have a lot of volume of stuff. So I need a way that it's easy to keep stuff organized space wise, while I keep stuff organized in my head. But I have to go. Ian's calling me. So thanks so much, guys. Thanks for coming and joining. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully, I felt a little bit scattered talking about some of the stuff here, but I think I still explained the reasons for at least the stuff I remember why I buy. It's pretty funny. I have to admit, looking at that pack of cabbage though that I don't remember, I'm like, sounds like a really good cabbage. But it's hard to resist. It's hard to resist all those things. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on a video tonight, so I'm hoping it'll be released tomorrow as planned. So tomorrow morning I should have the video out. And then yeah, we might actually be able to get a second video this week, because we have that thing that I've been working on with Nicole that I'm a slacker. So maybe hopefully I can get that done this week too, but we're getting pretty busy. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe next week we'll talk about tomatoes. We'll talk about like what I'm growing for tomatoes. I can get anyone local hyped to come buy my seedlings, which I doubt. Maybe there's like one of you, but I have some exciting stuff for the seedling sale I'm really excited about. And then I'll definitely show you guys all of my seedlings, all what it's all looking like. It's all filling up. I'm running out of room. I've filled the bathroom, and it won't be long until I have the entire outbuilding filled to the brim with seedlings. And then we'll just need some nicer weather so I can start moving out into the greenhouses. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. We'll chat next time. Okay, see ya.